This is the Okafor family compound in Lagos. 8 brothers, 8 wives, 50 relatives living under one roof. Wealth everywhere, imported cars, marble floors, designer everything. But in that massive kitchen, 19-year-old Amara is on her knees. The rice burned. That's all it took. Chioma, the eldest wife at 52, stands over her like a general. The other 6 form a circle. No witnesses. The house staff disappeared 10 minutes ago. They always do. Amara's hands shake as she tries to shield her face. A wooden spoon cracks across her knuckles. The spatula burns a line down her forearm. She doesn't scream anymore. Learned that lesson months ago. Screaming just makes it last longer. When they finally walk away, laughing about tomorrow's dinner menu, Amara stays on that cold floor, bleeding, breathing, counting the seconds until she can move without them hearing. Her husband, Chidi, is the youngest brother, 25 years old. Weak. That's the word everyone uses. He's in the next room right now, watching television. He heard everything. The slaps, the threats, her muffled crying. He turns up the volume. This is how it works here. The eldest brother Obinna runs everything. His word is law. And his word is simple. The youngest wife needs discipline. Amara tried telling Chidi once, 6 months ago, beg him to make it stop. He actually stood up to his brothers for about 30 seconds. They dragged him to the courtyard, beat him unconscious in front of everyone. His own mother watched from the window and did nothing. Since then, Chidi pretends Amara doesn't exist. Safer that way. For him, the other brothers pretend too. 7 men who see everything and say nothing. This family has 50 people, and Amara is completely alone. 3 days after that beating, Amara does something that will change everything. She's alone in the kitchen at 3 a.m. Everyone's asleep. Her hands shake so badly she nearly drops it twice. A tiny wireless camera, smaller than a bottle cap. She climbs onto a chair, reaches for the ceiling fan. Her heart hammers so loud she's sure it'll wake someone. The camera clicks into place between the blades. Invisible unless you know it's there. She climbs down, wipes the chair, puts everything back exactly how it was. Then footsteps. Ngozi, the 7th wife, the one who burned her arm. What are you doing? Amara's blood turns to ice. She holds up a dirty rag. Cleaning the fan blades, Ma. 10 seconds of silence. Ngozi's eyes scan the room like a predator. Finally, get back to bed. Amara doesn't breathe until she's in her room. Door locked. The camera is recording. But she just realized something terrifying. If they catch her, they won't just beat her. They'll kill her. Over the next 6 months, Amara becomes a ghost. Moves through that house like she's already dead. But she's not. She's building something. Camera number 2 goes in the main hallway. Number 3 in the bathroom. 4 in the dining room. 5 in the storage closet, where they lock her sometimes. She learns their schedules. Knows exactly when each room is empty. Practices her broken victim face in the mirror until it's perfect. Dead eyes. Slumped shoulders. The performance that keeps them convinced she's shattered. But at night, she backs up footage to a cloud account they don't know exists. Labels every file. Logs every incident. Dates. Times. Injuries. By month 6, 20 cameras. Kitchen, bedrooms, living spaces, everywhere. They hurt her in all of them. And every single moment is recorded in high definition. 847 assaults. 312 starvations. 156 sleep deprivations. The evidence is undeniable. She just needs the right moment to use it. The worst footage? The clips she can barely watch herself? Those are the ones that will destroy them. First pregnancy. 3 months along. She told no one. Try to hide it. They found out anyway. Chioma's exact words caught on camera. You don't deserve children. 5 of them held her down. Ngozi kicked her stomach until the bleeding started. She lost that baby on the kitchen floor. Second pregnancy. For months. Same thing. Pushed down the stairs this time. Cameras caught the whole fall. Third pregnancy. She didn't even make it to 3 months. They beat her the day she took the test. It's all recorded. The kicks, the laughter, her crying, the blood pooling beneath her. After the third baby dies, something breaks in Amara, or maybe something crystallizes. She's lying there, cramping, bleeding, and she looks directly at the hidden camera, nods once. This is the cost. 3 babies for 3 pieces of evidence that will put them in prison forever. Some prices you pay in flesh. Some debts get settled in courtrooms. There's one person in this house who sees her, really sees her. Okonkwo, the family patriarch. 80 years old, diabetes, heart disease, dying slowly. He's the one who gave her those first cameras. Called her to his room 3 months before he died. I've seen everything they do to you, child. His hands shook when he handed her the package. 20 cameras. Wireless. Untraceable. I'm too old to stop them now. Too sick. But I'm not too dead. He smiled at that. Dark humor. Document everything. Every beating. Every word. When I die, they'll get worse because I can't protect you anymore. He was right about that. Use my death anniversary. 1 year after I'm gone. The whole family will be there. Tradition. 50 people minimum. They can't escape. They can't deny. Everyone will watch. 3 weeks later, Okonkwo died. The family threw a massive funeral. Amara stood in the back, silent, but she was counting. Counting faces. Counting witnesses. Counting down to the perfect moment. 1 year. That's all she needed. 1 year to gather the final evidence. Then she'd burn this family to the ground. Okonkwo was right. The year after he dies is the worst. No one even pretended to care anymore. The beatings come daily now. Sometimes twice. They lock her in the storage room for a week. No food. No water. She drinks from the toilet to survive. Loses 40 pounds. The cameras capture everything. Chioma gets bolder. Burns her with cigarettes. Makes her kneel on broken glass. The brothers stop even looking away. They watch now. Some of them laugh. Chitty brings his friends over. They see Amara scrubbing floors with bleeding hands. No one says a word. She's furniture. Less than furniture. But Amara's counting. 327 days until the anniversary. Then 200. Then 100. She marks them in a hidden notebook. Each day she survives is a day closer. The cameras never stop recording. Her cloud storage fills with evidence. Irrefutable. Undeniable. Criminal. She practices what she'll say. How she'll stand. Where she'll position the laptop. Every detail planned. Every contingency mapped. The family thinks she's broken. They're wrong. She's just waiting. And the wait is almost over. 6 weeks before the anniversary, Amara uses the money Okonkwo left hidden in his room. Cash. Enough for what she needs. She finds a lawyer in Victoria Island. Criminal specialist. Shows him 10 minutes of footage. He watches in complete silence. When it's over, he's crying. This is the worst case I've ever seen. He doesn't even discuss fees. I'm taking this. Pro bono. And I'm calling the police right now. But Amara stops him. Not yet. The memorial service. They'll all be there. All 50-plus family members. If we arrest them before that, the others will claim they didn't know. This way, everyone sees. Everyone knows. No one can pretend they didn't understand what was happening here. The lawyer nods slowly. You want witnesses. I want them to watch their family members get arrested in front of them. I want their shame to be as public as my suffering. He makes the calls. Coordinates with the police. They'll be there. Plain clothes. Waiting outside. The moment the footage plays, they move in. 7 arrests. Simultaneous. No escape. The family has no idea what's coming. 3 weeks away now. Amara can barely sleep. Not from fear. From anticipation. The morning of the memorial service. Amara wakes at 5 a.m. Dresses in white. Traditional mourning color. Her hands are steady. She's rehearsed this day 1,000 times in her head. The family gathers. 53 people. Aunts, uncles, cousins, friends. Everyone dressed in white. prayers for Okonkwo, memories shared, fake tears from people who didn't care when he begged them to be kinder to her. Amara serves the food, jollof rice, fried plantains, peppered chicken. She moves through the rooms like always, head down, silent. The 7 wives joke with each other, relaxed, happy. This is their domain, their kingdom. Chioma gives a speech about Okonkwo's wisdom and family values. People applaud. Then the speeches end. Everyone settles in the main hall, largest room in the compound. Projector screen on the wall for the tribute video. Except there's no tribute video. Amara walks the front. She's carrying her laptop. The conversation stops. People look confused. Chioma's face hardens. Sit down, girl. This isn't your place. But Amara doesn't sit. The front door opens. 5 police officers walk in, plain clothes, positioned by the exits. The lawyer follows them. Sharp suit, briefcase. The room goes silent. Amara connects the laptop to the projector. Her voice is steady. I have something to show everyone. The screen flickers on. White wall turns into a window into hell. First clip, kitchen. Chioma slapping Amara. Again, again, again. 7 slaps. Blood from her nose. The room gasps. Stop this. Obina shouts. The lawyer steps forward. Everyone will watch. This is evidence in an active criminal investigation. Second clip. Ngozi holding the hot spatula, pressing it into Amara's arm. The sizzle. The scream. Children in the audience start crying. Relatives cover their mouths. Third clip. All 7 women together, taking turns, kicking, punching. Amara on the ground, begging. They're laughing. The footage is time-stamped, dated, high definition. 5 years of torture condensed into 15 minutes. Starvation, beatings, humiliation. The family watches their daughters, their sisters, their wives become monsters on that screen. Then the worst clip, the one Amara saved for last. Ngozi kicking her pregnant stomach. The other wives holding her down. Chioma's voice clear as day. You don't deserve children. The blood, the crying, the miscarriage happening in real time. Someone in the audience vomits. The 7 wives are frozen. Chioma tries to run. Too late. Police are already moving. Handcuffs out. Nobody leaves. Chioma runs to the back door. She's 52 but moves fast when her freedom depends on it. Officer blocks her path. She tries to push past. He grabs her wrist, spins her around. Handcuffs click shut. You're under arrest for torture, conspiracy to commit assault, and attempted murder. She collapses to her knees, screaming. Her adult children watch from across the room, mortified. The second and third wives try hiding behind their husbands. Doesn't work. Police pull them out, cuff them together, both sobbing hysterically. The fourth and fifth wives surrender. Hands up, faces blank with shock. The sixth wife faints. They handcuff her unconscious body anyway. Then there's Ngozi, 7 months pregnant, belly prominent. She's hyperventilating, clutching her stomach. I'm pregnant. You can't do this. The lawyer doesn't blink. Pregnancy doesn't grant immunity from prosecution for torture and murder. They cuff her gently, but firmly. 7 women, 7 pairs of handcuffs, lined up in front of the entire family. Chioma's still screaming. The others are silent, in shock. Amara stands 10 feet away, tears streaming down her face. Not sadness. Release. 5 years of silence ending in one moment. In the police van, Chioma's already planning. This is family business. Internal discipline. Every daughter-in-law goes through an adjustment period. Her sons gnaw desperately. It's tradition, cultural. At the station, the lawyer lets her talk, records everything. Then he smiles. Cold, I have one more clip to show you. He plays it on his tablet. Date stamp, 6 months ago. Chioma alone in her bedroom, talking to herself. The hidden camera caught everything. 30 years ago, I was the youngest wife in this house. Her voice is bitter, nostalgic, vicious. They did this to me, beat me, starved me. broke me for 2 years. She stares at her reflection in the mirror. But I survived, and now it's my turn. My turn to have power over someone. My turn to make someone else feel small. She laughs. Actually laughs. Amara thinks she's special. She's not. This is how it works. You suffer. Then you make the next one suffer. The lawyer stops the video. Chioma's face has gone white. That's not tradition. That's revenge. That's generational trauma. And that's going to get you 20 years. Then something unexpected happens. 3 elderly women in the audience stand up. They're in their 50s and 60s now. Former daughters-in-law. Divorced or widowed decades ago. One of them speaks first. Voice shaking. I was married to the second brother in 1985. Everyone turns to look at her. Chioma did this to me. Exactly this. Burned my arms. Locked me in rooms. Starved me for days. Her voice breaks. I lost 2 babies to their beatings. I escaped by faking my own death in a car accident. I've been hiding for 35 years. The second woman, 1995. Same house. Same women. Same torture. Tears running down her face. I divorced and moved to Ghana. Never reported it. I was too afraid. Too ashamed. The third, 2003. I was there for 18 months. They broke my ribs twice. I miscarried once. I left and never looked back. All 3 women turned to Amara. You're braver than all of us combined. You did what we couldn't. The police officers are writing furiously. The lawyer's eyes are bright. This isn't one crime. It's a 40-year pattern. Systematic. Institutional. Multi-generational. The charges just multiplied. Chitty stands up. Tries to play hero. I didn't know it was this bad. I would have stopped it if I knew. His brothers nod, supporting him, creating a united front. Amara doesn't say a word, just looks at her lawyer. He understands. Pulls up new footage on the tablet. First clip, Chitty walking through the kitchen. Amara on the floor, blood pooling from a head wound. She reaches toward him. Please. He looks directly at her. 3 full seconds. Then steps over her body. Keeps walking. Goes to the dining room. Serve himself rice. The room goes silent. Second clip, Amara locked in the storage room. Screaming. Pounding on the door. Chitty walks past. Earbuds in. Doesn't even glance at the door. Third clip, dinner time. Amara on the floor nearby. Visible bruises. Chitty eating. Laughing with his brothers. Steps over her again to get more food. His mother gasps. His siblings back away from him. The lawyer isn't done. There's more. Much worse. Chitty's face drains of color. He knows what's coming. Everyone's about to find out what kind of husband he really was. The lawyer looks at Amara. This footage is explicit. Bedroom cameras. Do you want it shown? Amara's voice is ice. Show it. The screen changes. Bedroom. Night. Chitty enters. Amara's in bed. Face turned away. He touches her. She pulls away. Not tonight. Please. He doesn't stop. You're my wife. What happens next makes people look away. She's crying the entire time. He sees the tears. Doesn't stop. Bruises visible on her arms. On her face. Fresh from that day's beating. He sees those too. Doesn't care. When it's over, he rolls off. Goes to sleep. She lies there, staring at nothing. The camera timestamp shows this happened dozens of times. Different dates. Same pattern. The lawyer speaks over the silence. Marital rape became illegal in Nigeria in 2015. These acts occurred between 2019 and 2024. This is prosecutable. Police move toward Chitty. He backs away. No, I'm her husband. The officer doesn't care. Marriage doesn't grant immunity. You're under arrest. 8th pair of handcuffs. His brothers don't defend him now. They step back, creating distance. Only one brother isn't here. Emeka, the one who lives overseas. He's about to get a phone call that changes everything. Obinna, the eldest brother, tries taking control. This is a family matter. We'll handle it internally. The lead police officer shakes his head. Torture isn't a family matter. Attempted murder isn't a family matter. These are felonies. Obinna pulls out his phone, starts making calls. Wealthy family. Connected family. There are people who owe them favors. The police chief arrives personally an hour later. Obinna smiles. He thinks he's won. The chief speaks. I reviewed the evidence personally. 1,000 hours of footage. 847 documented assaults. 12 forced miscarriages. He looks at Obinna. All 8 suspects are being held without bail. Trial in 3 weeks. Obinna's smile dies. You can't, I can, and I am. This case is going to be televised. National attention. You want to keep this private? Should have thought of that before you tortured someone for 5 years. Outside, news vans are already arriving. Someone leaked it to the media. Within an hour, it's trending on Nigerian Twitter. Hashtag Justice for Amara. The family's business partners start calling, canceling contracts, distancing themselves. The compound that held 50 people this morning, empty by nightfall. Everyone fleeing before the cameras arrive. London, 3 a.m. Emeka's phone explodes with notifications. Texts from Nigeria. Dozens, then hundreds. He opens the first one. Linked to a news article. 7 women arrested for torturing daughter-in-law. His wife's name is in the article. Joma, the ringleader. He clicks the video. Watches 15 seconds of footage. Stops. Vomits in the bathroom. His wife. Doing that to someone. He calls his mother. She's crying. Incoherent. He calls Obinna. Tell me this is fake. Obinna's voice is dead. It's real. All of it. 5 years. We all knew. Emeka hangs up, sits on the floor. His wife, his brothers, his entire family. Monsters. He's been overseas for 6 years. Rarely visited. Sent money. Called on holidays. Thought everything was fine. Everything was not fine. He books the next flight to Lagos. Lands 24 hours later. Drives straight to the police station. Asks to see Amara. They allow it. Lawyer present. He walks into that room. Sees her face. The scars. The evidence of everything. And he breaks down. I didn't know. I swear to God I didn't know. Amara studies him. Doesn't speak. He's telling the truth. She can see it. But truth doesn't erase 5 years. Emeka doesn't visit his wife in custody. Doesn't call. Goes straight to a lawyer. Different lawyer. Not family connected. I want a divorce. Immediately. Grounds. Criminal activity and moral incompatibility. The lawyer nods. This will take time. I don't care about time. File today. I'll pay whatever it costs to expedite. Papers file within 6 hours. Then Emeka does something none of his brothers would do. Goes back to the police. To Amara's lawyer. I want to testify. Against all of them. My wife. My brothers. Everyone who knew. The lawyer surprised. You testify against your own family? They're not my family anymore. Family doesn't do this. He pulls out his phone. Shows them texts. Messages from his brothers over the years. Hints about the youngest one having a hard time adjusting. Jokes about her being clumsy because she was always injured. He ignored it. Dismissed it. I should have asked more questions. I should have come home more often. I'm guilty, too. Of ignorance. Of distance. But I'm not going to compound that guilt by protecting them now. Amara speaks for the first time. You weren't here. That's not an excuse, he says. It's just a fact. And I'll live with that fact for the rest of my life. Back at the compound, the 7 free brothers are panicking. Obinna tries rallying them. We stick together. United front. Say we didn't understand the severity. But the lawyers already prepared for this. Footage of the brothers. Compiled. Time-stamped. Obinna watching Amar get beaten. Walks away. Laughs with his wife about it later. Second brother. Steps over Amara's bleeding body to grab his car keys. Third brother. Brings friends over while she's kneeling on broken glass. Makes jokes. Fourth and fifth. Actively told Chitty not to interfere. She needs to learn. Sixth brother. Held Amara down once while his wife burned her. Seventh brother. The only one who looks uncomfortable in the footage. But he never stopped anything. The prosecutors offer deals. Testify against the others. Admit complicity. Get reduced sentences. Two brothers take it immediately. The youngest ones. They're scared. They have children. They want to see them grow up. They'll testify that Obinna and the elder brothers threatened them into silence, that they wanted to help but feared violence. It's partially true, partially survival. The family compound becomes a war zone. Brothers shouting, threatening each other, wives packing bags, children crying. By the end of the week, only Obinna and two loyalists remain. Everyone else scattered. The empire crumbling. The media circus is insane. News trucks outside the police station, outside the compound, outside the courthouse. Everyone wants Amara's story. CNN, BBC, Al Jazeera, local stations, podcasters, bloggers, documentary filmmakers. The offers are flooding in. Book deals, movie rights, interview fees. 6 figures, 7 figures. Her lawyer fields every call. Amara says no to all of them. I don't want money for my story. I want them in prison. But the pressure mounts. The narrative is being written without her voice. Some outlets sympathetic, others questioning. Why did she stay? Why didn't she report earlier? Was it really that bad? Victim blaming disguised as journalism. Finally, her lawyer releases one statement, written by Amara, 3 sentences. I endured 5 years of torture because I needed undeniable evidence. I stayed silent because I knew no one would believe me without proof. I am speaking now through the legal system, and I will speak again when justice is served. That's it. No interviews, no photos, no emotional testimonials. Her silence becomes more powerful than any interview could be. Hashtag let her speak trends. But she doesn't. Not yet. The mystery builds. The anticipation grows. And the trial date approaches. The trial begins. Lagos High Court. Courtroom packed. Media in every available seat. The 7 wives sit together. Shackled. Orange jumpsuits. Chitty sits separately. The brothers who took plea deals sit in a different section. Witnesses. Emeka among them. The prosecution starts simply. We will prove, beyond any doubt, that these defendants engaged in 5 years of systematic torture against Amara Okafor. The defense objects immediately. Torture is an extreme word. Domestic discipline. The judge cuts them off. I've reviewed the evidence. The word torture is appropriate. Continue. The prosecutor presents a catalog. 847 assaults. Each one time-stamped. Documented. Categorized. The jury watches clip after clip. Can't watch actually. Several jurors look away. One cries openly. The burns. The beatings. The starvations. The miscarriages. Hour after hour of evidence. The defense has nothing. They try arguing cultural differences. The prosecutor destroys them. Torture is illegal regardless of culture. Battery is criminal regardless of tradition. They try arguing consensual discipline. The prosecutor plays the audio. Amara begging them to stop. Please, on repeat. Nothing consensual about it. By day 3, the defense switches strategy. They'll plead guilty. Try for reduced sentences. Claim remorse. Too late. The jury's already seen everything. Remorse doesn't erase 5 years. Then Amara takes a stand. The courtroom goes silent. She's wearing simple clothes. No makeup. Hair pulled back. The scars on her arms visible. She doesn't cry. Doesn't perform. Just speaks. 15 minutes. Clinical. Precise. I was 19 when I married into the Okafor family. The abuse started within 3 weeks. She details a hierarchy. How Chioma organized it. How each wife had a role. How the brothers enabled it. I stayed because I had no money, no family support, no one who would believe me. She describes the cameras. Okonkwo's gift. He told me documentation was the only power I had. He was right. She talks about the miscarriages. Matter of fact, no emotion. They kill my babies intentionally to prevent me from having any connection to the family that might protect me. The defense tries to cross-examine. Why didn't you call the police? I did. Twice. The family's connections made the reports disappear. Why didn't you run? I tried. Once. They found me. The beating put me in the hospital. I told the doctors I fell downstairs. They believed it because that's what people want to believe. The defense attorney backs off. There's nothing to attack. Her testimony is airtight. When she steps down, the jury's already decided. The 3 former daughters-in-law testify next. First woman, age 61 now. I was 22 when I married in 1985. Chioma was the second wife then. She was being tortured by the first wife. Her voice shakes. When the first wife died, Chioma became the torturer. It's a cycle. Each generation hurts the next. She describes beatings identical to Amara's. I lost 2 babies. Same way, kicked in the stomach. No hospital. No help. She shows scars. Burn marks on her arms. 40 years old. Never healed properly. I faked my death. Car accident. It was the only way to escape. Second woman. Age 53. 1995. I lasted 18 months. Chioma was worse by then. More confident. She had help. The second and third wives were her enforcers. She lifts her shirt, shows broken rib scars. These never set properly. I still have pain. Third woman, age 47. 2003. I thought things would be different. Modern times. Mobile phones. Internet. She laughs bitterly. Money buys silence. Power buys complicity. I divorced after 1 miscarriage. My family called me a failure for leaving. All 3 women turn to the defense table. Stare at Chioma. You were a victim once. You became a monster. That's your choice. Your guilt. Chitty's defense is desperate. His lawyer argues he was the youngest brother, weakest, beaten himself when he tried to help. He's a victim, too. The prosecution doesn't even wait. Just plays the footage again. Bedroom. Amara crying. Chitty continuing. The lawyer pauses on 1 frame. Amara's face. Bruises. Tears. Terror. Does this woman look like a consenting partner? Chitty's lawyer tries again. In marriage, there's an expectation. The judge interrupts. Angry. The expectation is consent, which is clearly absent here. Counselor. If you're arguing marital rape is acceptable, you need to rethink your entire legal position. The prosecutor piles on. Additional footage. Chitty watching beatings. Never intervening. Chitty sleeping peacefully while Amara cried in pain next to him. Chitty joining his brothers in mocking her injuries. This man is not a victim. He's an active participant. New charges added. Conspiracy to commit assault. Enabling torture. Obstruction of justice for discouraging her from reporting. The marital rape charge alone carries 12 years. Combined with everything else, he's looking at 15 minimum. His lawyer requests a recess. Wants to discuss a plea. Too late. The prosecution wants maximum sentences. No deals. No mercy. Ngozi's defense centers on her pregnancy. She's 7 months pregnant. This stress is dangerous for the baby. The judge is unmoved. She kicked the pregnant woman's stomach multiple times, causing multiple miscarriages. Her pregnancy doesn't grant immunity. The prosecutor shows the specific footage. Ngozi holding Amara down, kicking, laughing. You don't deserve children. Said it all 3 times. The irony isn't lost on anyone. Ngozi's lawyer tries claiming she was the youngest wife before Amara, that she was tortured too. She's a victim of the cycle. The prosecutor nods. She was a victim. Then she became a victimizer. That's called a choice. And choices have consequences. Day 5 of the trial. Ngozi stands for a bathroom break. Gasps. Water breaks. Right there in the courtroom. Panic. Paramedics called. She's going into premature labor. Stress-induced. They transport her to the hospital. under police guard. She gives birth 6 hours later. A girl, healthy despite being early. Ngozi holds her daughter for 3 minutes. Then Child Protective Services arrives. You're facing 15 years minimum. The child will be placed in protective custody. They take the baby. Ngozi screams, begs, cries. The exact words Amara said during her miscarriages. I just want my baby. But the baby's gone. Adopted within a month. Ngozi will never see her again. During the trial, the family keeps trying. Obinna approaches Amara's lawyer during recess. 1 million naira. She drops the charges. Everyone walks away. The lawyer doesn't even relay it. Criminal charges can be dropped. She's not suing you. The state is prosecuting you. Next week, different brother. 5 million. Final offer. Same answer. Week 3, Obinna's desperate now. 10 million naira. Plus 20% of the family business. She can live like royalty for the rest of her life. This time, the lawyer tells Amara, not because he thinks she'll accept, but because he wants her to make the choice. They're in a conference room. Briefcase on the table. Literally full of cash. 10 million naira. More money than she's ever seen. Enough to disappear. Start over. Live anywhere in the world. Amara looks at it. 10 seconds of silence. Then she speaks. I don't want their money. She pushes the briefcase across the table. Doesn't touch it. I want them in prison. Her voice is cold. Absolute. They took 5 years of my life. 3 of my children. My dignity. My sense of safety. She stands. I want them to lose their lives. In cells. For years. No amount of money changes that. The lawyer smiles. He knew she'd say no. He just wanted Obinna to hear it. 3 weeks into the trial, the family lawyer requests an urgent meeting. Not the defense. The state lawyer. Okonkwo's will executor. He's been waiting for the right moment. The will can't be read until the criminal trial concludes. Okonkwo specified this. He shows the document. Sealed. Dated 2 months before Okonkwo's death. He updated it after giving Amara the cameras. The lawyer won't reveal contents. But there are rumors. The brothers are worried. Very worried. Finally, verdict day arrives. The jury deliberates for 6 hours. Returns. We find all 7 female defendants guilty on all counts. Gasps. Applause. The judge bangs a gavel. We find the male defendant Chitty guilty on all counts. More applause. Sentencing in 1 week. That evening, the state lawyer reads a will. Small gathering. Amara, Emeka, 2 elderly aunts. Media outside. To my granddaughter-in-law, Amara, I leave 40% ownership of the Okafor family business. Silence. 40%. More than any individual family member. She's now the majority shareholder. Primary owner. This makes you CEO. Effective immediately. There's more. A personal letter. The lawyer reads it aloud. Okonkwo's words from beyond the grave. The lawyer unfolds a letter. Handwritten. Okonkwo's distinctive script. Shaky from age, but clear. To Amara, who suffered more than anyone should. The lawyer's voice cracks. He composes himself. Continues. I knew what they did to you. I saw your injuries. I heard your cries through these thin walls. I watched my family become monsters. Pause. I am sorry I was too old and too sick to stop them while I lived. My body failed before my conscience did. The letter details everything. Okonkwo had been documenting the family for years, long before Amara arrived. The cameras I gave you were my cameras first. I recorded my son's complicity, my daughter's-in-law's cruelty, for 10 years. He watched, documented, waited. I waited to see if they would change, if any of them would choose kindness. They didn't. The letter becomes direct, accusatory. So I give you what they value most. Money, power, control. Use it to destroy them. Use it to build something better. The final paragraph. The shelter, the one we discussed. Build it in my name. Make this family's legacy one of healing, not harm. I trust you to finish what I started. Forgive me for taking so long to act. But know that I never forgot you, and I never forgave them. Monday morning. Amara walks into the Okafor family business headquarters for the first time as CEO. The building is nice. Glass. Modern. 10 floors. Import-export company. Contracts across West Africa. Annual revenue in the hundreds of millions. The receptionist doesn't recognize her. Do you have an appointment? I'm the new so. Confusion. Then panic. Security called. They check her ID. Verify her credentials. Suddenly everyone's scrambling. She's escorted to the top floor. Boardroom. Emergency meeting called. 12 family members work here. Cousins. Nephews. In-laws. They filter in. Confused. Angry. Obina's brother-in-law speaks first. This is a family business. You can't just, I own 40%. I can do whatever I want. She opens her laptop. HR termination letters. Prepared by her lawyer. 12 of them. You all knew what was happening to me. You visited the compound. You saw my injuries. You said nothing. She slides the letters across the table. You're all fired. Effective immediately. Security will escort you out. Protests. Threats. Legal action. She doesn't care. Sue me. See what happens when your torture-enabling behavior becomes public record in court. One by one, they leave. Security behind them. By noon, the building is clear family. By evening, Amara's hired a professional management team. No family connections. Pure merit. Sentencing day. The courtroom is packed again. Media, activists, abuse survivors. The 7 wives are brought in, shackled together. They look different, thinner, older. Prison does that. Chioma's hair has gone completely gray in 3 weeks. Chitty sits separately. He hasn't been allowed bail. Too much of a flight risk. The judge speaks. Her voice carries. I have presided over many cases in my career. I have never seen evidence of such systematic, calculated, prolonged cruelty. She looks at each defendant. You torture a young woman for 5 years. You caused 3 miscarriages through deliberate violence. You created a system designed to break another human being. She reads the sentences. Chioma Okafor, 20 years. Maximum security. No parole eligibility for 15 years. Chioma collapses. Sobbing. Ngozi Okafor, 15 years. Loss of parental rights made permanent. Ngozi screams. The other 5 wives, 10 to 13 years each, varying based on participation level. Then Chitty, 12 years, including charges of marital rape conspiracy and enabling abuse. His mother wails from the gallery. The 7 brothers who were arrested later, 5 to 10 years each. Only Emeka and 2 brothers who took plea deals walk free. Probation, community service, permanent records. As the defendants are led away, Amara sits motionless. 1 tear runs down her face. Not joy, not satisfaction, just release. It's finally over. The war is won, but she's still broken inside. Winning doesn't heal. It just ends the fighting. The prison transport bus idles outside the courthouse. 7 women. 1 man. Orange jumpsuits. Chains connecting their ankles. Amara stands on the courthouse steps, watching. The media want a reaction. Cameras everywhere. She gives them nothing. Just stand there, silent. They load Chioma first. She's still crying. Doesn't look back. Ngozi goes next. She looks directly at Amara. Hatred in her eyes. Blames her for losing the baby. Can't see her own guilt. The other 5 shuffle on. Defeated. Broken. Chitty goes in a separate transport. Men's facility. Different prison. He tries to say something to Amara. She doesn't hear it. Doesn't care. The buses pull away. 5 years of planning. 3 weeks of trial. It's done. They're gone. Amara expected to feel something. Relief. Joy. Vindication. She feels nothing. Just empty. The lawyer touches her shoulder. You did it. You won. She nods. But it doesn't feel like winning. It feels like surviving. And survival isn't the same as living. She goes home that night. The small apartment she rented during the trial, not the compound, never the compound again, sits on the floor, stares at nothing. The cameras are off. The evidence is archived. The abusers are in prison. So why does she still feel trapped? 3 days after sentencing, Amara sits in a therapist's office. First time. She never wanted therapy before. Thought she was handling it. Turns out justice and healing are different things. The therapist is a woman, mid-50s. Kind eyes. Tell me why you're here. Amara doesn't speak for 2 full minutes. Then, I won. They're in prison. I have money, power, safety. Pause. So, why do I still wake up screaming? The therapist nods, understands immediately, because trauma doesn't care about justice. Your body doesn't know the trial is over. Amara breaks. Completely. 5 years of performance. 3 weeks of composure. It all collapses. She sobs. Can't stop. I thought destroying them would fix me. The therapist hands her tissues. Waits. Destruction and healing are separate processes. You destroyed your abusers. Now you have to heal yourself. That's harder. They talk for an hour. Amara admits things she's never said aloud. I still check every room for cameras. But they're my cameras. I installed them. Pause. I can't sleep without checking locks 5 times. I can't eat without anxiety. Another pause. I adopted their fear. Made it mine. And I don't know how to let it go. The therapist writes notes. That's why you're here. To learn. Amara leaves with homework, journal entries, breathing exercises, baby steps. It feels inadequate, but it's a start. The compound sits empty. Has been for months. The family scattered. No one wants to live where they tortured someone. Bad energy. Worse memories. Amara stands outside the gates. First time back since the arrest. Her hands shake. Heart races. PTSD kicking in. The lawyer suggested selling it. Get rid of it. Move on. But Amara has a different idea. She walks inside. Every room is a memory. Kitchen where they beat her. Storage room where they locked her. Bedroom where Chitty raped her. She should burn it down. Erase it. But that's letting them win. They made this place hell. She's going to make it heaven. She called contractors, architects, social workers. I want to convert this into a shelter for abused women, specifically daughters-in-law escaping violent families. The architects draw plans. The kitchen becomes a community dining hall. Bright, open, safe. The storage room becomes a library. The bedroom becomes a children's playroom. Every torture space inverted, made into healing space. The construction takes 4 months. Amara visits weekly, watches the transformation, walls painted, gardens planted, trauma renovated into hope. They name it Okonkwo House, after the man who gave her the tools to fight back. The ribbon-cutting ceremony happens 6 months after sentencing. 25 women move in the first week. By month 2, they're at capacity. 50 women, 30 children. Laughter where screams used to live. Amara interviews every woman who enters Okonkwo House. Wants to understand their stories. First resident, Adiz, age 24. Married 3 years. Mother-in-law burned her with hot oil. Husband watched. Did nothing. She has scars identical to Amara's. They sit across from each other. Compare wounds. Dark humor in shared trauma. Welcome to the Survivors Club, Amara says. Membership is permanent. Benefits include therapy and terrible sleep. Adiz laughs. First time in months. Second resident, Kayamika, age 30, was locked in a room for 2 weeks. No food, no water. Drank from the toilet to survive. Exactly what Amara did. They don't need words. Just eye contact. Understanding. Third resident, Ngozi, different Ngozi, age 22. 3 miscarriages caused by beatings. She breaks down describing them. Amara holds her hand. I lost 3 too. It doesn't stop hurting, but it gets quieter. Eventually, by month 3, Amara knows every woman's story, every scar, every nightmare. She runs support groups twice weekly, shares her own footage sometimes, shows them that documentation works. Evidence is power. Never forget that. The women call her Mama Amara. She's only 24. But trauma ages you. They see her as a mother figure, protector, proof that escape is possible. She's building something here, not just a shelter, a movement. 1 year after the trial, Amara starts adoption proceedings. The social worker is thorough. Why do you want to adopt? I lost 3 children of violence. I want to give 3 children safety I never had. She's honest about her trauma, the PTSD, the therapy, the nightmares. I'm not healed. I'm healing, but I can give them love. And that's more than most people offer. The social worker approves her. 3 children from a foster system. 2 girls, 1 boy, ages 3, 4, and 5, all removed from abusive homes, all carrying trauma. First day is awkward. The children are scared, quiet, don't trust adults. Amara understands, sits on the floor with them. I was hurt too, by people who should have protected me. She shows them her scars, the burn marks, the ones that never fade. These are my survival marks. You probably have them too, inside or outside. That's okay. The oldest girl, Zainab, touches Amara's arm, traces the scar tissue. Does it still hurt? Sometimes, but less than it used to. And I'm here. That's what matters. Within weeks, they're calling her Mama. Not forced, natural. She reads to them every night, cooks their meals, takes them to school. Normal things, healing things. She's not their biological mother. But biology doesn't make family. Choice does. Love does. Safety does. Behind our Okonkwo house, there's a garden now. Amara designed it herself. Center of the garden, 3 trees. Mango, cashew, palm. She plants them on the anniversary of her first miscarriage. 2 years since. Her 3 children help. Zainab, Kayamika, and Emmanuel. They don't know the full story yet. Too young. But they know the trees are important. These trees are for 3 babies who didn't get to grow up. Amara's voice is steady. They would have been your siblings. In a different life. She kneels at the base of each tree. Whispers names. The names she would have given them. Chitara, Chikwudi, Adora. The children are silent. Respectful. Then Emmanuel asks, are they in heaven? Amara thinks about it. I don't know about heaven, but they're here, in these trees, growing, living in a different way. She touches each trunk, rough bark on her fingers. They didn't get to become people, but they'll become trees. And trees give shade, fruit, life to others. She plants flowers around the base. Hibiscus, red and bright. These babies taught me something. That survival isn't enough. You have to create, build, grow. She stands. Her 3 living children beside her. They're part of our family. Not here, but not forgotten. They water the trees together. Weekly ritual. The trees grow strong. Fast. Within a year, the mango tree flowers. By year 2, fruit. Life from death. Healing made visible. Emeka never returns to Nigeria permanently. Lives in London. But he doesn't disappear. Calls Amara monthly. How's the shelter? We're at capacity. Always. What do you need? He sends money. Lots of it. Anonymous donations at first. Then public ones. He wants people to know. One member of the Okafor family is trying to make this right. His children ask about their mother, the one in prison. Mommy did very bad things. Hurt someone for a long time. She's in prison now. That's where people go when they hurt others. He doesn't sugarcoat it, doesn't villainize her completely. You can love someone and still hold them accountable. I loved your mother, but what she did was unforgivable. Those are 2 truths that exist together. He starts an organization in London for Nigerian women escaping domestic violence. Partners with Okonkwo House. Creates a pipeline. Women in UK who need help. Direct line to resources. He names it Amara's voice. She found her voice when no one else would listen. I'm amplifying it. Annual fundraiser. Black tie. London elite. He tells Amara's story. Shows the footage. Edited. The severe parts. People donate millions. Every pound goes to shelter, to legal aid, to documentation tools for other survivors. He's not trying to absolve himself. I can't undo my absence, my ignorance, but I can fund healing. That's my penance. Amara accepts his help, not his apology. You weren't there. That's a fact. What you do now matters more than what you didn't do then. 3 years after the trial, a documentary crew approaches. We want to tell your story. The trial, the shelter, the impact. Amara's instinct is no. She's done performing, done being watched. But they make a compelling case. 847 women have applied to Okonkwo House in 3 years. 93 successful prosecutions using documentation, methods you pioneered. 12 new shelters modeled after yours across West Africa. Numbers she didn't know. Impact she didn't track. Your story is bigger than you now. It's a movement. She agrees to limited access. No personal life. No children's faces. No trauma porn. Just the shelter. The work. The women healing. The documentary films for 6 months. Interviews residents. Former residents. Shows the transformation. Kitchen where she was beaten, now feeding 50 women daily. Bedroom where she was raped, now children's playroom. Storage room where she was locked, now library with 1,000 books. They interview the lawyer, the police chief, the judge. All say the same thing. This case changed how Nigeria prosecutes domestic violence. Mandatory reporting laws, enhanced penalties, victim protection services. All because one woman refused to stay silent. The documentary ends with Amara in the memorial garden. 3 trees, 3 children. I'm not a hero, she says to camera. I'm a survivor who got angry and turned that anger into architecture. Anyone can do that. You just need evidence, patience, and the absolute refusal to let them win. 5 years after sentencing, Amara gets a call from the lawyer. Thought you should know. Chioma's up for early release. Good behavior. Amara's silent. Then, how much time has she served? 15 years of 20. Good behavior? She's been in isolation for most of it. Other inmates, they don't like child abusers. Torture cases. She's been attacked 4 times. Guards put her in protective custody. Amara should feel something. Satisfaction. Vindication. She doesn't. When does she get out? 3 months. She's 73 now. Dying. Heart disease. They're releasing her to hospice. Will she try to contact me? She asked. I said no. She accepted that. Amara hangs up. Doesn't think about Chioma for days. Then weeks. The release date comes. Goes. A month later, the lawyer calls again. Chioma died. Yesterday. Heart failure. No one attended the funeral. No family. Buried in an unmarked grave. Thank you for telling me. She hangs up, goes to the garden, looks at the 3 trees. They're tall now, strong, bearing fruit. Her 3 living children are playing nearby. This is what matters. Not Chioma's death. Not the others suffering in prison. She spent 5 years building, creating, healing. Their punishment is their punishment. Her healing is hers. They're separate. That's the most important lesson. Justice doesn't heal you. You heal you. Anniversary of Okonkwo House's opening. 5 years. The residents plan a ceremony. Speeches. Cake. Celebration. They want to honor Amara. Put up a plaque. In recognition of Mama Amara's courage and sacrifice, she sees the draft. Says no. No plaques. No speeches about me. This isn't about me anymore. They're confused. But you built this. You sacrificed. I survived. Like all of you. My story isn't special. It's documented. That's the only difference. She calls a house meeting. All 50 current residents. Staff. Volunteers. This house exists because Okonkwo gave me tools. Because I had resources. access to lawyers, technology. Most survivors don't have that. She looks at each woman. Your courage is the same as mine. Your survival matters just as much. Some of you documented. Some escaped with nothing. Both are valid. She changes the house policy. No hierarchy of suffering. No comparing scars. No, Mama Mara did this, so you should. We're equals. I'm not a hero. I'm just further along in healing. That's all. They renamed the anniversary. Not Amara's Day, but Survivor's Day, celebrating every woman who escaped, every woman who stayed, every woman who's trying. The plaque they make is different. Simple. Alconquo House. EST 2025. For survivors, by survivors. All stories matter. 7 years after the trial. National Conference on Domestic Violence. Amara is invited to speak. Keynote. 1,000 people attending. She almost says no, but her therapist encourages her. You have something important to say. Say it honestly. She takes the stage. No prepared speech. Just truth. Everyone wants to know if I'm healed. If justice fixed me. If building the shelter gave me closure. Pause. The answer is no. And also yes. The audience leans in. I still have nightmares. Not every night anymore. But enough. I still check locks compulsively. I still flinch when someone raises their hand near me. She touches her scars, visible on her arms. These don't hurt anymore, but they're permanent. Physical reminder. But the internal scars? Those are still healing. 7 years later. Still in therapy. Still learning. Someone in the audience shouts, "But you're so strong." Amara shakes her head. Strength is not breaking. Strength is breaking and continuing anyway. She talks about the shelter, the 3 children, the trees. I'm healing by helping others heal, by creating instead of destroying. But I'm not done. I'll never be done. She looks at the audience. If you're waiting for the day you're completely healed before you move forward, you'll wait forever. Healing and living happen simultaneously, not sequentially. Standing ovation. But Amara's already walking off stage. She said what needed saying. 10 years after the trial. Amara's children are teenagers now. Zainab is 15. Kayamika is 14. Emmanuel is 13. They've always known their mother is a survivor, but they don't know the full story. Tonight, Zainab asked directly, "Mama, what happened to you?" Really, they're in the memorial garden, under the 3 trees, now massive, providing shade for half the compound. Amara sits on the bench, gestures for them to join her. I was 19 when I married into a wealthy family. They tortured me for 5 years. She doesn't sugarcoat. They're old enough. Why didn't you leave? Emmanuel asks. Fear. No money. No one believed me. She shows him pictures on her phone. Her at 19. Before. Then during. The scars. The weight loss. The dead eyes. This is what trauma looks like. Kayamika is crying. Amara wipes her tears. But look around. This compound where they hurt me, it's helped 5,000 women. The scars that marked me, they taught me empathy for others in pain. She points to the trees. Those trees are for babies I lost. You 3 are the babies I gained. Different, but family. She takes them inside, shows them the footage, edited, age-appropriate, enough to understand, not enough to traumatize. This is my story, but it's not my whole story. She shows them the shelter, the women healed, the children safe, the gardens grown. This is my story. Survival plus creation, pain plus purpose. The children are quiet, processing. Then Zainab speaks. We're proud of you, Mama. Amara smiles. I'm proud of me, too. Finally, even sisters-in-law serve sentences ranging from 10 to 20 years. Chioma died at age 73 after serving 15 years. No family members attended her funeral. She was buried in an unmarked grave. 8 brothers received sentences from 5 to 15 years. Chitty served 12 years and was denied parole 3 times. His children never visited him in prison. Only Emeka maintained contact with Mara and supported her work. Ngozi lost permanent custody of her daughter. The child was adopted and thrives with a loving family. Ngozi served 15 years and was released in 2040. She has never seen her daughter since the day of her arrest. Okonkwo House has sheltered over 12,000 women across Nigeria, Kenya, and Ghana. 1,847 women successfully prosecuted their abusers using documentation methods. The shelter operates 23 locations across West Africa, all funded by the Okafor business under Amara's leadership. The Amara laws, 3 pieces of legislation inspired by her case: mandatory reporting of domestic abuse, enhanced penalties for family-based torture, comprehensive victim protection rights. All 3 passed in Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana, and South Africa. Amara never remarried. She raised her 3 adopted children with the love and safety she was denied. They grew up knowing their mother is a survivor, not a victim. All 3 now work in domestic violence prevention. The hidden cameras remain installed in Okonkwo House, not for surveillance, but as symbols in the main hall. Next to them, a plaque reads, "Evidence is power. Documentation is survival. Justice is possible." This story is dedicated to every daughter-in-law who suffers in silence, to every woman trapped in a system that protects abusers. Document everything. Survive at all costs. When your moment comes, don't hesitate. Your silence is not weakness. Your survival is not surrender. Your evidence will set you free. 10 years later, morning, Amara stands in the memorial garden, her 3 children beside her. Teenagers now, tall, strong, laughing. The 3 trees tower overhead, lush, green, bearing fruit. Behind them, Okonkwo House. 50 women visible through windows, cooking, talking, healing. Children playing in the courtyard where violence once lived. The camera pulls back, slowly, rising, reveals the full compound, transformed, alive, surrounding the 3 memorial trees. Hundreds more, each planted by a woman who found refuge here. A forest of survival, a forest of evidence, a forest of justice. Amara looks up at the trees, touches each trunk gently, whispers 3 names only she can hear. Her living children hug her. She's surrounded by love now, not isolation, not violence, not fear, just love. The screen fades to black. Final audio, children's laughter echoing through the compound. The sound of healing, the sound of home.